And welcome to my channel. My name is Prophetess Dinko. I am a prophetess, healer, and spiritual guide. I hope that you are feeling good, blessed, and most importantly, feeling abundant. And welcome to the channel. So, in today's video, we are going to be talking about spiritual gifts and, just what is your gift and how to release blockages surrounding your spiritual gifts. So often we feel as though spiritual gifts are limited to a certain group of people. However, if you are a spirit or you have a spirit, then you inherently have spiritual gifts. And this video will highlight the types of spiritual gifts that we have been given. And your job is to be honest with yourself, and recognize where you fit if you are not holding yourself back, because stepping into your spiritual gifts, it does require a very high level of discipline and dedication to yourself, dedication to your spirit, nourishing your spirit. And this just includes, letting go of things that you feel kind of hold you hostage or don't allow you to be you. This can be in the form of relationships. So, the first spiritual gift that we are going to be talking about is the ability to give wise advice. So I feel like majority of you are going to say, okay, I give wise advice, and you might have been thinking that this is just the quality that you have, you give good advice, people come to you for knowledge, advice, and all this good stuff, and you didn't realize that it is a spiritual gift. So in the fact that you are able to give wise advice, it is now your job and your duty to hone in on your skills, do more research, and understand the human nature, understand people in a way that is simple for you, so that also when you now are giving your advice, you are giving it based on an educated opinion, based on research that you have done, either within conversations you have done your research, or something you've read online, but just needing to really give that part of you space to flourish and know that you are wise, you possess wisdom. Therefore, it is a spiritual gift, and you can turn it into something that you could possibly use, or use for your benefit, either personal or to help the collective. So yeah. And then the second spiritual gift is message of spiritual knowledge. And for me, this really brought to mind the Akashic Records. So the Akashic Records is a 5D library of souls, soul contracts, past lives, and experiences. So how to know if you have access to the Akashic Records? You just have a knowing of things that, maybe you were not taught the subject, or you were not taught something, but you are able to grasp it, you are able to understand it. And oftentimes it is because you possess a knowledge that is very ancient. This could have been passed down through your bloodline to you, or in a past life you operated in that knowing, and now in this lifetime you are remembering, you are coming back to who you were. Maybe in a past life you used to be a very prominent speaker, I don't know, and now you are able to speak, you are able to give knowledge, or in a past life you were a healer, or in a past life you were a teacher, or you worked with your hands, you were a carpenter, something of that knowledge, and now you feel drawn to working with objects, you feel drawn to build, you feel drawn to do certain things. It is because you have access to the Akashic Records. And when you have access to the Akashic Records, that is information that we do not have here in the world. When you are pulling on Akashic Records, you are pulling on some very, very high level 5D divine heavenly information, and it is not something that you take for granted, having access to the Akashic records. You don't take it for granted, but you learn, you apply, you learn the lessons, you understand certain principles. So, message of special knowledge, so it means sometimes when you speak, your speaking or your knowledge will be out of this world. It will be knowledge that one would feel isn't available in the world, and that is because you are not drawing on the information that you've learned in the world, but rather the information that you've accessed through the Akashic records. And this information can be accessed through your meditation practices, it can be accessed through your dream states, it can be accessed through just the basic things that you do day to day, or when you are doing an activity, you will have a remembrance. Or for example, it's in such small ways. I can't really like pinpoint it, but there is that library of souls where soul contracts, soul gifts, everything exists in that library. And if you are able to recognize this and able to get to a level where you gain access, you enter that library and you take information as much as you need, and you use it to benefit yourself here in the 3D. Okay, the third spiritual gift is great faith. So, having great faith is a spiritual gift, and great faith can be defined as having faith even when your circumstances do not allow you to have faith, when even your circumstances do not allow you to be in a prosperous state, but you will really resonate with great faith and know that everything that you do is going to reap good harvest. You are always going to win, you are always going to be successful. And even if you don't know how, but you know that things are going to work out for you, and God is working for you, the divine realm is working for your good, and everything is going to be okay. So great faith is a spiritual gift. And people will sometimes say it's so hard to have faith, but faith really unlocks doors, guys. It is what keeps you afloat even when your situation, your circumstances do not allow, because there are things in this world that will get you down, but your faith, that is your greatest currency. When you have faith, your it will move mountains. It will really help you to navigate, and help others navigate, help others reignite their faith, because when you are a person of faith, that energy radiates off of you, to a point where even if someone didn't see a vision for themselves, or they didn't have hope in themselves, when they now see you and see how much faith you have in God and the divine, then they will, also be like, okay, I also need to have that. If she has so much faith, let me also have faith and know that things are going to be okay. So in some ways, this spiritual gift of faith will be an inspiration to others and help others persevere and push through their situations, knowing that it's not always going to be like that. Things are going to get better. Okay, now the fourth spiritual gift is the gift of healing. So, the gift of healing would be the gift of being able to heal others. And one thing I feel with the gift of healing is that in order to be able to heal others, you first need to be able to heal yourself, either emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. You have to heal yourself, and the gift of healing requires one to do a lot of shadow work. So shadow work is when you are able to reflect on the aspects of yourself that are not the best. So for example, within your shadow work, you will be able to realize that, okay, I'm selfish, or I have a big ego, or my communication skills are very poor, or things such as that. And then you work to now heal those areas of your life so that your gifts of healing can also be activated, and then you help others work through whatever they are struggling with, but you first have to help yourself. I think the Bible does put it clearly, to say that before you try and remove the speck from your brother's eye or someone's eye, make sure that you are not being blinded by the speck in your own eye. So needing to resolve your own issues first before you can heal and help someone else. But once you get to that point where you are able to acknowledge, you are able to have healed yourself and brought yourself back into a very good space, then you can do that for literally anyone else. You will have the knowledge, because that is when the Akashic records will now come in, because you will deal with someone and they will tell you that this is what I'm struggling with, and immediately you will be mixing up things in your mind. You will know how to heal this person. You will know what remedies, what treatments, what methods to use in order to heal them. So I definitely feel that all these gifts, they work together, and I feel that we have the potential to unlock all of them, because I have listed 9. So I believe that we have the potential to unlock all 9 of them, and I liked the fact that it added up to 9, because 9 is the number of completion. 9 is the number of cycles, old cycles having closed out, and now going into new beginnings, where you have learned your karma, you've understood your karma, you've understood that, okay, this is what I need to be doing, this is what I need to be letting go of. And then once you get into that recognition, you are able to come into a new beginning. Okay, so the 5th spiritual gift is the power to perform miracles. And I feel as though this is the one that everyone wants to have. This is the one that is very controversial, the power to perform miracles. I definitely feel that when it comes to miracles, in order to be able to perform a miracle, you need to know Jesus, because when you know Jesus, you know the Father. And understanding that miracles cannot happen if the two of them in your life are not aligned. The Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I feel like in order for you to be able to perform miracles and also be on the receiving end of miracles in your life, you need to understand the Father, you need to understand the Son, you need to understand the Holy Spirit. You need to be in a good relationship and term with all 3 of those figures. That is just my belief. I'm actually open to being engaged on this topic of the power to perform miracles. Because it's controversial. I don't really know how you fully step into that gift, but I feel like if it is in you and you get an opportunity to perform a miracle, then you perform that miracle. And just knowing that that miracle was not performed on your own accord, it wasn't of your own doing, it wasn't of your own power, but rather because of the Holy Trinity that gives you strength, that gives you power, that gives you everything that you need to do in order to make things happen. Oh, there's like a bee here. I don't know what this thing is. It's been coming after me, guys, and it's the same one. I think it's a hornet or something. But anyway, okay, so number 6 is the ability to prophesy. And the ability to prophesy, just relating it to me personally, this came through, I can definitely say that with the ability to prophesy, a lot of my gifts, guys, came through when I really started being intentional about meditation. Just being mindful, just being silent, isolating and spending time alone. Because with the gift of prophecy, God will give you visions, He will show you certain things, and we prophesy in part. So, you don't know the full story when you're prophesying, but then you hope that the message will reach someone. You hope that the message will resonate with a specific person and their situation. So understanding that if you have a prophecy or something, it won't make sense, and it's not meant for you to make sense. Oftentimes the vessel or the person who is meant to understand it will know that, okay, this is my message, this is what I prayed for. So often with the ability to prophesy, you just get used as a vessel to communicate, speak a word over that person's life, and understand that sometimes that word is not always going to be nice. It's not always going to be, it's not always going to be taken in a nice way, but that is an ability that you have been given, and you have to prophesy, whether it's good or bad. You give the message and hope that it is well received. If not, you have done your job, and you now ask that the receiver of the message takes it to God in prayer and deals it with God, to not shoot the messenger, because you also just don't know. Yeah. And then number seven is the ability to discern spirits. So this is, the ability to be able to discern spirits and be able to recognize which spirits are which, because there are spirits that are of the angelic realm, that are of God, that are of the heavens, and then there are spirits that are of the dark forces, dark nature, forces of witchcraft, black magic, so the veil is very thin between those spirits, so being able to discern that, okay, this spirit is of the light, this spirit is of God, this spirit is of the devil, it's of dark magic, so sometimes people are not really aware of the different spirits that they're encountering, but this requires you to, because it is discern, ability to discern spirits, and we always need to be praying for the spirit of discernment to be able to recognize what is for us and what is not for us, so that we can move towards the things that are for us and be able to recognize that this is not for me, this relationship is not for me, this job is not for me, this career path is not for me. There are things within it that are going to make me compromise myself, there are things within it that are going to make me lose myself, and once you have this discernment, then you move forward. Sometimes with discernment, we come into discernment, having learned the hard way. And yeah, I'm just sorry guys, I just lost like my train of thought. There's a bird here, and this bird, I will like at the end of the video I will I'll turn the camera that side, but like this bird, I don't know if it is stuck in the tree, but it definitely looks like it is stuck and it's trying to get out of the tree. Like it literally just like flew straight into the tree, and I'm just trying to see it if it's gonna get out, but it definitely looks like it's a bit stuck. That is so interesting. Yesterday there were like zebras like running across, like they ran across so quick. It was like ka, 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 ka. I was like, what's going on? Is there a lion? What's going on? Tell me, tell me. But thank God there's like an electric fence here. But like those zebras were like ka, 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 going. Yo. Okay, and then number 8, we have the ability to speak in tongues, different languages. So speech is a gift as well, being able to speak in different languages, being able to relate to different people from different walks of life, that is a gift. And being able to speak in tongues, because that, I feel like it is a gift, and it's something that comes naturally. I remember, like, I always used to laugh in church when I'd hear people speaking in tongues because it just sounded weird, And but I think it happened to me once. I think it's happened to me a few times, but it's not like a strong thing. Where like I was speaking tongues and it just comes. It comes like a wave, guys. You can't fight it, So if you have that gift, you must know that it is a gift and you must treasure it, and you must speak in tongues the things that you feel your heart cannot speak in, maybe the tongue that you speak now or the language that you speak now, and use that to cry out to God and speak to him, and act as a deliverer, for those who need to be delivered, but they can only be delivered in that particular tongue. I hope that makes sense. So being able to speak in tongues is a gift, a spiritual gift. And the final one is interpretation. So interpretation is being able to look at a situation and interpret the situation. I think that with these two, it goes hand in hand with prophecy. So for example, if you see a butterfly, you'll be able to look at that butterfly and you will think of growth, you will think of transformation, you will be able to interpret it, especially if someone can tell you that, oh, I dreamt of a butterfly, then you can now tell that person that, oh, okay, it means that you are now coming out of your shell, you're coming out of your cocoon, you are leaving your past behind and you are blooming into a new person. You are getting ready to spread your wings and fly and allow people to see your beauty, allow people to see the real you. You will related in such a way. Or if someone tells you that they dreamt of, or they keep seeing a flower, I feel like saying flower, then you would say, like, what would I say if someone tells me they keep seeing a flower? I would say, the rose that grew from the concrete, so possibly saying that you are blooming, or you need to bloom where you have been planted. Perhaps your current circumstances or your current situation is not favorable, but you need to find the favor in that situation. You need to bloom, you need to grow, you need to grow beyond the expectations that others have put over you, and know that everything is going to be okay and work for your good. So, in all the spiritual gifts that I've mentioned, I would just like to ask you now, what is your gift? And what is your gift? I feel like a lot of us, we tick more than one box, which is really a blessing. But just understanding that with these spiritual gifts, there are different kinds of service, but we all serve the same God. So do not neglect your spiritual gifts. Do not feel as though I am confused, I want to do it in this way, or everyone else is doing it in this way. Know that your path is set for you, but do not neglect your spiritual gifts, because through acknowledging your spiritual gifts, through accepting them and learning to love them, that is where you will find your progress. That is where others will also see your progress. Not to say that you are doing it for people, but the growth within you will be noticeable. People will be able to see that you have matured, you understand yourself, and that's where it's at. So, how to release blockages when it comes to your spiritual gifts and your spirituality? One thing that I have definitely picked up is that there are small things, very small things that block you, but at the time you might feel like this is not significant, or this isn't big enough to block me from my destiny, but it actually is, and these can be in the form of, things in your life maybe that you're still holding on to energetically, any blockages that are present within your body. I definitely feel that this is different for everyone, because we are different, guys. We have different challenges. We've all had different upbringings, so it's being able to understand that, okay, this is what is blocking me and I need to release it. There are ways of releasing, such as maybe writing a letter or doing a burning bowl ritual, which is basically where you have a bowl and you will burn some things that you don't want in your life anymore, or things that you feel you need to let go of. They are weighing you down, or just doing some kind of releasing work, so that you can gain enlightenment. For this part of how to release blockages, I would definitely recommend the hidden aspects reading, which is a reading that picks up on any blockages that are present in your life, be it physical, spiritual. If in cases you feel as though people are doing work against you, or people are wishing evil against you, people are wishing for you to not progress, it also picks up on that, and just lets you know how you can free yourself from any chains that are not allowing you to be yourself, because, guys, everyone is different, and I don't want to say do this, do that, do this is how you release, because maybe what you are releasing is heavier than the next person, or what you are releasing is a 10-year wound that has been festering, so it is different for everyone. But I definitely hope that, in detailing the spiritual gifts, I have given you an indication and let you know that you are spiritually gifted, whether you like it or not. You have spiritual gifts, and don't neglect them, but use them to be of service in your community, in your family, in your neighborhood, because that's also something that will be reflected to you, to say, okay, are my spiritual gifts meant to uplift my family? Are they meant to uplift my community? Am I meant to be serving the collective? Am I meant to be serving in a specific area? Things such as that, it will be revealed to you when the time is right, but this is definitely something that you awaken to over time, and you open your spirit to it. So again, if you feel as though I want to, or I know I have a spiritual gift, but something happened and it blocked me, or I dealt with someone, or I slept with someone and I just got blocked thereafter, just click on the link in the description and let's just talk, because we all deserve to operate within our gifts. That's where our blessings come, because God delights when He sees you using what you have given you. He delights, He gets happy. It gives Him that thing of like, hey, my creation is doing the things. My creation is proud of who I created them to be. So yes, so that is the end of this video, and I would just like to thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that this was informative, and I just pray that you allow yourself to really pray, meditate, isolate, and allow whatever information and downloads you receive to come in, and write them down, guys. I really recommend writing down. You need a notepad or 2 or 3, where you can write down everything, because certain things will only make sense to you a couple of days, months, or years down the line, but it will make sense. So write down whatever downloads you get, whatever intuitive nudges and feelings you get. Acknowledge them. Your intuition is very powerful. Your intuition is your voice from God. If you feel like your intuition is leading you somewhere, or leading you to a specific person, or leading you to do something, acknowledge it and allow it to lead you. Don't allow your stubbornness or your pride or your fear of failure to get in the way. Just step in and know that it's gonna be okay. And this is where I cut the video. This is where I cut the video. Yes, or maybe not, or maybe not. Ooh, I need to learn how to dance this year. That's one question, guys. Is dancing a gift? Please answer me, someone. Like, are you just born knowing how to dance, or do you have to train yourself? Because I want to dance. I really want to dance, but the moves here in my head, they don't correlate to my body, which is a problem. But again, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. I love and appreciate you all so much. Mwah.